What's up, everyone? Welcome to FilmSpot, and today we will be talking about the best upcoming movies. Henry Cavill is no longer Superman for the DC Universe, as James Gunn plans for a younger version of Clark Kent to be introduced. After years of uncertainty around his involvement in DC's shared universe, a surprise return in Black Adam's post-credits scene signaled to audiences that Henry Cavill was back. This was further confirmed when Henry Cavill made a public announcement on his Instagram, sharing the news that he was coming back as the DCU's Superman, with reports circulating that Man of Steel 2 was in development. The status of Henry Cavill's future as Superman changed once James Gunn and Peter Safran were named co-CEOs of DC Studios, and it has now been confirmed by both the actor and co-CEO that Henry Cavill is no longer going to be the DCU's Superman. As Gunn announced on his social media, the DCU will reshift the focus to a younger Superman and will recast the role. Henry Cavill also shared the news on his Instagram. The Hollywood Reporter reports that Gunn is writing the new Superman movie, which is said to follow Clark Kent as a reporter for the Daily Planet. Rebooting Superman for the DCU is a clear sign of James Gunn's intentions for DC's future. By going back to a younger version of the hero, Gunn is ensuring that Superman can be in his prime and be a central figure for years to come. It does further signal that the ultimate goal of James Gunn could be to reboot the DCU. The co-CEO did tease plans for Cavill to do other stuff with DC, but the actor's Instagram post eliminates any chance of a return, as he says, "My turn to wear the cape has passed." As a result, the DCU's future could mean Henry Cavill taking on a different role and watching a new actor step into Superman. Wednesday Season 2's renewal is reportedly coming from Netflix early in the new year. Wednesday stars Jenna Ortega as Wednesday Addams, based on the Addams Family franchise. The dark series follows the eponymous Addams Family daughter as she tries to solve a mystery involving a monster that's happening at her school. Wednesday's famous emotionless personality continues in the show as a signature feature of the character. Director Tim Burton helmed the show's first 4 episodes, as well as executive producing the series with creators Alfred Goff and Miles Miller. Deadline reports that Netflix intends to renew Wednesday for Season 2 in the new year. The report also indicates that producers are actively searching for writers to join the writers' room for Wednesday Season 2, as well as beginning the process of scouting locations for the next chapter of the series. Fans of the macabre show will be glad to hear that a Wednesday renewal seems inevitable, as all signs are pointing to Netflix merely waiting to let the audience focus on the debut season for the rest of the year, before diving completely into Season 2. Todd Phillips announces that principal photography has begun on Joker Folie à Deux, revealing the first image of Joaquin Phoenix in Arkham Asylum. The Jokerverse is moving forward as Warner Bros. Discovery is working on a sequel to the Academy Award-winning DC picture. The first Joker film, set in an Elseworlds-like continuity, follows Arthur Fleck and how he eventually transforms into the villainous Gotham City clown. As DC Studios are still making shifts with the DCU, Phillips' Joker franchise remains intact. Set to return as the director for Joker Folie à Deux, Phillips announced today on his Instagram page that principal photography has officially begun on the Phoenix-starring sequel. The filmmaker also provided the first look at the film, featuring the clown prince of crime inside Arkham Asylum in the movie. Joker Folie à Deux production is taking place in Los Angeles and is expected to run into early 2023. According to director Christopher Nolan, the upcoming biographical film Oppenheimer reportedly recreates the first nuclear bomb test blast without using digital CGI visual effects. Nolan and Universal Pictures' forthcoming film collaboration boasts a star-studded cast, featuring Cillian Murphy, Emily Blunt, Matt Damon, Robert Downey Jr., and Florence Pugh. Oppenheimer is primarily based on Kai Bird and Martin J. Sherwin's American Prometheus, the triumph and tragedy of J. Robert Oppenheimer, and will chronicle Oppenheimer's life and role in the creation of the atomic bomb. As reported by Games Radar, Nolan revealed to Total Film that to recreate the New Mexico-based 1945 Trinity test, the first nuclear weapon detonation, the director opted not to use digital CGI effects to create the blast in his first feature film collaboration with Universal Pictures. Praising the work of Oppenheimer's visual effects director Andrew Jackson, Nolan revealed that while the practical effects proved challenging, they carefully considered how they could recreate as much of the event as faithfully as possible with physical effects. John Wick Chapter 4 director Chad Stahelski reveals that the upcoming movie will see Keanu Reeves' character facing the consequences of his actions. After the critical and commercial success of the third film in 2019, Reeves' titular assassin is set to return once more in next year's fourth installment, facing his biggest challenges yet. John Wick Chapter 4 features the return of characters like Ian McShane's Winston and Lawrence Fishburne's Bowery King, but also introduces a host of new ones, including Donnie Yen's Kane, Bill Skarsgård's Marquis, Hiroyuki Sanada's Shimatsu, and Rina Sawayama's Akira, among others. The first John Wick Chapter 4 trailer has already teased some of the action that is to come for Reeves' assassin, but Stahelski now reveals more story details for the upcoming film in an interview with Total Film. According to the director, Wick will come to face some significant realizations in the movie while dealing with the consequences of his past actions. He said, "In John Wick 4, I would say John comes to terms with how what he does affects people that he cares about. There's always got to be consequences for your actions. And in this way, we're starting to see that John understands what the consequences are. Not that it curbs him in any way." The DCU's reboot plans continue, as Henry Cavill's and Gal Gadot's cameos from the upcoming The Flash have reportedly been cut. The Flash will star Ezra Miller once more in the role of the fastest man alive, with their Barry Allen traversing DC's multiverse and meeting different versions of heroes, such as Sasha Calle's Supergirl and the returning Michael Keaton as Batman. According to The Hollywood Reporter, both Henry Cavill and Gal Gadot have been removed from The Flash. Cavill's Superman exit has been the focal point of social media discussion since James Gunn announced his Superman reboot, which will star a younger actor in the role. Cavill's cameo being cut from The Flash was rumored prior to Gunn's announcement, given its absence from a recent test screening for the movie. Gadot's case is a little different, as it was also revealed that DC Studios has chosen not to go forward with director Patty Jenkins' vision for Wonder Woman 3. Jenkins' exit is the reason for Gadot being cut from The Flash, but there's no word yet if the actress will be leaving the DCU altogether. With the DC Universe seeing major shakeups, DC Studios co-CEO James Gunn has confirmed the role Batman will play in the franchise's new slate. Gunn and producer Peter Safran officially took the reins of the freshly rebranded DCU in October this year, and ever since, the pair have been busy honing a new long-term vision for a cohesive comic book universe, spanning film, television, animation, and gaming. While some earlier reports suggested that Gunn and Safran were potentially considering bringing Robert Pattinson's Batman into the DCU's new continuity, those claims were later debunked by Gunn himself. With Gunn confirming that Pattinson's Batman will exist separately from the events of the main DCU, fans are now wondering what role DC's Dark Knight will play in the franchise's future. One such fan recently reached out directly to Gunn via Twitter and asked if Batman's character would continue to appear in the DCU or whether he would just be left for Matt Reeves' films. Continuing to prove his willingness to provide fans with behind-the-scenes information about his developing plans, Gunn confirmed that Batman will continue to play a big part of the DCU. Timothée Chalamet celebrates Dune Part 2 wrapping filming with a new behind-the-scenes photo from production. The critical and financial success of Denis Villeneuve's Dune in 2021 meant that the director got the opportunity from Warner Bros. Discovery to make a sequel. Villeneuve split Frank Herbert's novel into two parts for the movie adaptation, meaning Dune 2 will once again follow Timothée Chalamet as Paul Atreides and continue his journey after meeting up with the Fremen in the deserts of Arrakis. It has now been confirmed that production on Dune 2 has officially wrapped. Chalamet shared a very happy selfie of himself and his real-life father from the desert set of Dune 2 to celebrate the end of filming. Chalamet is not pictured in costume as Paul Atreides, but the desert filming location for the sequel is teased in the background. Dune 2's filming moved to Abu Dhabi in November, but it is unclear if this is where Chalamet's photo is from. Although Jason Momoa has done an incredible job portraying Aquaman on the big screen, his potential future as DCU's Lobo seems even more promising. The road for Warner Studios' superhero cinematic franchise, the DC Extended Universe, has been paved with many ups and downs. However, with James Gunn and Peter Safran now at its helm, the franchise seems to be heading in an intriguing direction, especially for Jason Momoa. As rumors have it, Momoa could bid farewell to his Atlantis throne after Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, and appear as DC's notorious anti-hero, Lobo, in the future. These rumors began soon after DC Movies co-chief James Gunn shared cryptic messages about the potential heroes who will lead the DCU and featured Lobo in the roster. Adding fuel to the hype, Jason Momoa did not hold back his excitement surrounding the shakeups in the DCU by claiming that comic book fans around the world are going to be very excited. James Gunn even opened a social media account with Lobo as his profile picture, and when Momoa was asked to comment on the same, he simply confessed his love for the comic books. In hindsight, Zack Snyder was right on the money when he envisioned Jason Momoa as the perfect Aquaman. However, before Momoa dipped his feet in Atlantis' waters, he was better known for portraying the ruthless warlord Khal Drogo in Game of Thrones and an implausible Conan the Barbarian in a critically panned reboot. Owing to his colossal stature and intimidating demeanor, it is understandable why the actor was often cast as hard-boiled anti-heroes before he wielded Aquaman's trident. It is also not surprising that when he was asked to audition for Aquaman, he naturally assumed that they wanted him to play a negative role. Casting Jason Momoa as Aquaman eventually worked wonders for the DCEU, as it is hard to imagine someone else stepping into the seafarer's shoes. However, considering how Momoa was an unlikely choice for Aquaman and has always been a convincing fit for morally ambiguous antiheroes, playing Lobo may prove to be a better opportunity for him than Aquaman. Furthermore, since the DC Extended Universe has been more inclined towards creating its own brand of dark superhero movies that are a far cry from the MCU's vibrant and family-friendly popcorn flicks, Lobo seems to be a more suitable addition to the franchise's unique take on flawed heroes compared to the heroic Aquaman. Jason Momoa's history of antagonistic roles and his upcoming villain role in Fast X suggests that he has a knack for portraying the bad guy. Whether he will leave Aquaman behind and play Lobo is yet to be known. However, the fact that the Game of Thrones star believes that he's in good hands with Gunn and Safran taking over the DCU suggests he would not mind being DC's intergalactic bounty hunter. Not to mention, since Jason Momoa confirmed that one of his dream projects will be happening, it is possible that he has already agreed to sing a swan song to Aquaman and don Lobo's boots. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse director Kemp Powers has confirmed that the film's main villain, the Spot, will continue to be the primary antagonist in Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. Voiced by Jason Schwartzman, the Spot was revealed as Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse's villain in June of this year. The Spot will have a major role in bringing different Spider-Men and Spider-People back together to save the multiverse from the threat he poses, though his motive and overall goal remain shrouded in mystery. Eagerly anticipated by many, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse will debut in theaters next June. Deadpool 3 director Sean Levy teases Hugh Jackman's upcoming reprisal of Wolverine, who will star alongside Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool in the 2024 movie. Deadpool 3 is set to be the first in the trilogy to take place in the MCU, and with Wolverine already confirmed to appear, there are rumors the film could be a huge crossover event, potentially featuring other characters from the Fox superhero franchises. Jackman will be appearing as Wolverine for the first time since 2017's critically acclaimed Logan, having previously announced his retirement from the role. In an interview with Sci-Fi, Levy shares his excitement at being able to tell the story of the ultimate Marvel icon and the ultimate Marvel iconoclast. The director considers himself extremely lucky to be helming the Deadpool 3 MCU movie and notes that the combination of characters is constantly generating new ideas during the scriptwriting process. He said, "I'll just say that to be developing and prepping this movie that has this iconic duo together in an entire movie for the first time, a pairing between Hugh and Ryan, Wolverine and Deadpool, it's very much a pairing that the world has waited for over a decade. And I'm the lucky son of a bitch who gets to tell a story about that pair. The potential is so rich, and every day that we work on the screenplay, there are ideas that we didn't anticipate that appear, because you're talking about the ultimate Marvel icon and the ultimate Marvel iconoclast." Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.